Hey everyone, welcome to Beyond Life Paranormal Research Podcast. I'm your host, Russell Reynolds, and we got a good show tonight. My guest is running a little late. She will be here momentarily. Um, so I thank you all for tuning in tonight. Hope you guys all had a good Christmas, safe and healthy New Year, bringing in the new year. We did too. Been busy, got some projects in the works going on for my group. Um, So stay tuned for that. Um, hey, Greg, welcome in. My guest is running a little late, so she'll be here momentarily. Um, so I'll give you the rundown so that way when she gets here, I can just bring her right on. I've got Amanda Quill tonight. She is the founder of Coldspotters, British Columbia. She has a bunch of teams around the world, including us. We are part of the Coldspotters family, but she's got teams in the United States. She's got teams over in Europe, so they are world renowned. And hey, Kimmy, welcome in. And they are a legit group. Cold Spotters are. They don't just let anybody in. You have to be legit in the paranormal and active to be part of Cold Spotters. Um, they do a lot of events up in Canada, um, and She she's been investigating the paranormal for quite a few years now, and she's good at what she does. So when she gets here, I will bring her on. But like I was saying, I hope everybody had a good New Year and Christmas, and nobody got too wasted and stayed safe out there. Some news we got going on. We are got a I got a book that's going to be released hopefully by the end of 2025. It's still in the works right now that I'm writing. And we got some other projects going on, some Paracons. And without further ado, here's my guest, Amanda Quill.
I can't hear anything.
Hey,
Hi.
hey, Amanda, welcome in.
Hi.
I already,
Phone. I'm so sorry.
I already filled them in on your intro already, so
Oh, good.
got
I'm
here.
so sorry for being late. I've been fighting with my phone because that's what we're using tonight, and I was fighting with Google too.
That's all right. We had
Hmm.
issues with Google last Saturday. They kept cutting
Mm.
my mic off.
Yeah, it's like it's a new thing because it was trying to get me to sign into Facebook or to YouTube, which I already have done because I've been on a lot of podcasts for you know one or two in my life, and this one was like not even remembering me, so Google's fault.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I told them a little bit about you and what you do. If you want to fill my audience in on the ones that weren't
Hmm.
here when I've had you on before, what you do and what Cold Spotters is about.
Yeah. So what did you tell them? Let's hear that.
I told them about you're the founder of it in British
Hmm.
Columbia, that you've got teams all around the world, the United States, and that we're part of the Cold Spotters family.
Hmm. Yeah. So our main thing is we want to network. We want to open doors for everyone, whether it be people who have haunted homes, haunted homes, or people who just want to learn more about paranormal investigation or just the paranormal in general. We've had we have groups that kind of spawn from our first group that are just about people who want to learn how to become an investigator or want to learn why their children see dead people. It's all encompassing. So it's really hard to explain exactly what Coldspotters does because we try to do everything. We want to be that safe place to land when you have a paranormal question.
Awesome.
So
And I know
there.
you guys all do good work too out there.
We definitely try. We try to. It can be challenging, as I know that you've come across quite a few times. It can be challenging to do what you want to do and what you know is best to do in a field where a lot of people are motivated by the wrong kind of end goal, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So it can be challenging, but I mean, I've been at it for quite a while, and I'm not going to go away anytime soon. Going to keep on going.
That's
And
the best.
yeah, we actually have turned a bit of a corner with Cold Spotters up here in Vancouver, where we're actually going to be starting filming, and we're going to be putting our what we do on a kind of larger platform or larger, yeah, network, let's say.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't
Mhm.
wait to watch that.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, it's exciting, but it's also very scary. It's very scary.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, especially if
Mhm.
you're not used to being behind a camera in your face constantly and being used to that.
It's very strange. I will be honest, but the way that I said it to, because my son Nathan, he's involved in so it's basically gave me, Nathan, and Kayla, who's my mentee, if that's a thing. Like I mentor her in the paranormal, and so it's kind of the three of us and what we're doing up here in the Lower Mainland, and taking our indigenous side, and I'm using that towards everything we do in the paranormal and our investigation style and everything. But it's yeah, it's very, I don't know. I went off course on that question, but yeah, it's a lot. It's scary. It's scary.
Ah, you'll get through it.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah.
I mean, the main thing is it's not hard being in front of the camera, getting interviewed and stuff
Oh,
like that.
that was my point. Thank you. Well, you know what? Everything we do is in front of a camera anyway.
Yep.
Like we're always in front of a camera, so why would we be scared just because it's like, maybe it's because it's focused on us or something, but once you get over that hump, it's um it's a little bit easier, but it's 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 interesting because I remember not having this kind of aspect in our paranormal or in our investigation where they're watching you, where they're focused on what you're doing and how you're investigating. It's more like what you're getting back. Um, and we'd always say like, well, why are they showing us the ghosts? Why, like, ghost hunters? Like we never see any ghosts on Ghost Hunters. It's like, well,
Right.
it's not called ghosts. And it was actually someone on that show that's pointed that out to me. I'm like, that's true. We're watching their investigation and their investigation style. So I try to be cognizant of that kind of thing too, because it's not about this is more showing the world what we do as investigators, what we do as yeah, as thoughtful people who are doing this. We're not trying to be that big scary thing, right? We're not trying to exploit ghosts either. We're just trying to, yeah. But everything we try to do, we are already doing it in front of camera. So
Yep.
yeah, let's drop being nervous, and it's never, we're always nervous. We're nervous Nellies. We're a certain type of ghost hunters. We're all a little bit, yeah, awkward.
Right. Basically, it's basically educating people too.
Hmm. Yeah. And hopefully, hopefully you can put something out that people will, kind of feel. Yeah. And understand and grow from. And if you don't, hopefully you put on something a little entertaining. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, not
Hmm.
being like the dude run guy and running out of a building while being
Yeah.
filmed.
Exactly. Just pray you don't get on a meme.
Yeah, I mean, that can happen.
Yeah. Yeah. So how are you?
I've been good, been busy.
Yeah, I bet, I bet.
Yeah, we're staying
Mhm. And
pretty
how's
busy.
your dad?
He's good. He's watching
Good.
right now.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I mentioned I'm gonna come up there. I'm gonna come up there this year.
All right.
Yeah. I've been wanting to do KC for a while, and
We've
not
got
just 'cause of Mahomes, but yeah.
we got a place you can go with us to check out.
Awesome, awesome.
So we got the
That'd be
haunted
really cool.
theater that we do,
Yeah.
which was
Mhm.
actually on TV. That was on Dead Files.
Oh, really?
We're the only team since Dead Files to
Mm.
actually investigate it.
Now why is that? Just because they got
She
kinda
doesn't let
inundated with
very many
people or
Yeah, she don't let very many people in there because she don't want it done for the wrong reasons.
Mm,
Because
yeah.
there is one spirit in there that's not very friendly.
Oh, okay.
He will grab you, he will push you.
Mhm.
Pushed my father to the floor, tried to push him over a little balcony.
Oh, nobody pushes your father.
Yeah, he pushed him, and we were going up to check out the projection booth, and he was on the stairs, and next thing I hear a crash, and I look, and he's down on the floor,
Wow.
and he had a
Oh my
handprint on his back and on his arm.
Mhm. Oh my goodness.
And it was the man that was shot and killed there. He wasn't a
Okay.
man, and when he was alive, he was trying to mess around with a guy's wife.
Oh, okay.
He got himself shot for it.
Oh, did he fall out a window?
No, what happened, he fell onto the sidewalk out front.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I think I know who you're talking about, yeah. Well, not him personally, obviously, but I think I know the story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was on Dead Files. Steve DeShavi found all the info on it when Dead Files actually covered it,
Mhm.
and
Wow.
Amy Allen did her psychic walkthrough, and she picked up on the same thing
Mhm.
through there. And Greg Costa's got a question for you. Amanda, are you from Vancouver?
I am from Vancouver. I am from Vancouver, like Vancouver, British Columbia. Yes, I am.
Hey, Kara.
Vancouver, BC. Woo! Woo! Go Canucks. As far as you can go.
But yeah, he was messing around with the manager's wife of the movie theater,
Okay. Well,
and
that's not don't mess around with people's wives
the manager
unless they
told
want
him,
to be messed around with.
"Hey, you're gonna mess around with my wife, you take her and marry her." And he was like,
Yeah,
"No,
exactly. Do right by her. Yeah.
you got kids, so I'm just gonna back off." Well, they were at a get together across the street,
Mhm,
and the manager of the movie theater was there with his wife. He went to the restroom, he comes back out and hears that guy over there talking, flirting with his wife, and they both had been drinking.
mhm,
And so Frank Cello said to Ethel Turner, "Hey, what did I tell you? Quit messing with my wife. You take her and marry her, and you said you would leave her alone." And then I guess some more words got exchanged, and he said, "Look, you don't leave my wife alone, I'm going to kill you."
mm.
Ethel Turner said something more to him, and then started to walk out the door. Well, Frank Cello followed him across the street, pulled out a 38, and shot him right out on the sidewalk.
Oh, wow.
So he's
Yeah.
one of the main ones that haunt that place, along with
Mhm.
a girl named Nellie Price, who was kidnapped about 100 feet from there.
Oh, really? Wow.
She was waiting for her date, and her date never showed up.
Is there, like, any kind of, relation or I guess
No,
well, I mean relation in the broader sense of the word, like, to the 2 crimes or
no, I don't think so. Sh Her date just never showed up, and then she went missing for 17 years,
mm,
and they ended
wow.
up finding her in the Missouri River on a sand barge, wrapped in
Mhm.
window weight, strangled,
Aw,
and she was only in her 30s. She was, like,
wow.
34, and she's another one that haunts that place, and she doesn't like
Yeah.
the heat. She will throw temper tantrums and bang on things and
Mhm.
pinches the staff all the time, and
Wow. That's, it's so interesting, like, we think about maybe like the loss of life, or we think about where these ghosts are coming from, or death
Mm,
in general. And we always say she was only, but it's like if you think about the um, loss of a life, and you think about the people that are left behind, and like the um the impact they have on them too. So it's not just like that kind of anguish of the dead person who was like taken. It's also the people that are left behind, that we're kind
right.
of creating a lot of this energy. And I'm so fascinated by that. And yeah, like it's yeah, what kind of story are we leaving behind? What kind of story are we leaving behind of like, yeah, if you think about how many people are being lost these days, and what's wrong with us that we're not as
Mm,
appalled as we were in the past. We're used to it. We're like, there's something that's desensitizing our souls. And I think that's that's a total different podcast. But yeah, but I worry about where these where entities are coming from. And some of them I think that we're starting to create ourselves while we're here.
mhm.
I think that we are creating a lot of, like, if you think about poltergeist activity, we're
Yeah,
doing that on such a new level. We're just, yeah, we're also angsty.
and your teenagers are big with the poltergeist activity with
Hmm.
hormone
And
change.
you know what else is? Menopausal women.
Yeah,
Not
that
that I
too,
know
yeah.
anything about that, but but yeah, it's nuts. Like, it's just like that. Like, yeah, it is a perfect kind of storm. It is. It's like crossing the streams. We're like just, you need two forces to create this energy. And yeah, we're doing it on such a crazy level right now, but we're not really paying attention to what's important. And I think that needs to be addressed. Yeah.
Greg Koss had another question. Do you have any thoughts on Vancouver Island, and do you know Bill Hauser?
I know Bill Hauser. I love Bill Hauser. He's great. Vancouver Island. Do I have any thoughts on Vancouver Island?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I have so many thoughts on Vancouver Island. Vancouver Island, for those of you who don't know British Columbia very well, where I'm from, Vancouver, it is kind of a little hub. We're in the southwestern corner. Um, and then right, probably like an hour and a half by ferry, is this humongous island. It's just a beautiful island. It's just like, it's so ripe with just, I don't know, like where you look at Vancouver, it's very like we're very
Right.
we've grown. We're a city, and then you go to Vancouver Island. Their biggest city is Victoria, and it's very colonized. It's that kind of like colonial. It's beauty. It is. It's beautiful, but it's a lot of the past. You go up the island. You go to Nanaimo, Port Alberni. You go on the other side. There's Tofino. There's other places. You clue it. But all the way up to the top, it's like Port Hardy, Port Alice. Port Alice is one of my favorite places in the world. It's like the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place you'll ever be in your life, and the energy there is like nothing you'll ever feel. You go into the forest there, and it's like you can hear the spirits talking. You can feel everything. It's just one of those sacred places in like on this earth where you immediately are healing, but immediately you're so aware of how little we know about the supernatural, about the yeah, it's I have a lot of thoughts about Vancouver Island. It's one of my favorite places to be. And above and beyond that, the food, the seafood. Oh my gosh, yes.
I can
Like,
imagine.
yeah. I'm not sure if that person is from the Vancouver Island, I say. But it's yeah. I think it's ripe with energy. It's ripe with I don't want to say too much because I don't want people to start coming to Vancouver Island, but we're actually going to be doing a lot of work on Vancouver Island in the next probably 4 months. We'll be up there quite a bit, and yeah, there's legends out there that ah will just yeah, they'll shut you the hell up. Yeah, it's it's an amazing part of the world. So
Greg
yes, I have a few thoughts on Vancouver Island.
Greg said my daughter and family are in Bellevue, Washington.
Oh, Bellevue. Okay, my number two favorite place in the world is Washington. Bellevue is fantastic. Port Townsend, I will say Port Townsend is like, yeah, that's where I want to be. That's where I want to retire. That's where I want to live out my life is Washington. Um, my gosh, it's like if you it's just like the trees and the water and like the elements are just so amazing. It's ah, and to be honest, like Vancouver Island actually dips into Washington. So why Alaska's way up there is because we traded a little bit of like a little bit like a little bit of the island that what would have been Washington to have Victoria, and then you people in the States, and got the Alaska, which is like the world's weirdest exchange of whatever. It's but yeah, it's I love Washington. Clearly I should be American. I think I'm part American now, okay? But I'm indigenous, so we don't have borders and I can live on either side. So
Right.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
What would you
I
say
can't
the most
vote. I can't
haunted
vote
place
down there though.
what would you say
I
the
can do
most
everything else.
haunted place in
What's
Canada?
that?
What would you say the most haunted place in Canada is?
In Canada? Well, I don't know anymore because I used to say Weyburn, Saskatchewan. There used to be a sanit. I have to be honest, I forgot which one's which, sanatorium or sanitarium. But sanatorium, I think, is the mental hospital.
Yep.
Sanitarium was the yeah. Okay, so there used to be a
San
sanatorium there.
Actually, sanitarium is your mental hospital, sanatorium's your tuberculosis.
Okay, okay, yeah. Okay, so sanatorium, sanitarium.
Greg says you sound like an amazing lady.
Oh, thank you. I try. I try. I try a lot. No, but yeah, the Weyburn facility was I have people who just would be walking past there and just have the most amazing experiences. And when I say amazing, they probably didn't find them very amazing, but being a paranormal investigator, I'm like, oh my God, that's wild. That's amazing. But other than that, I would say that I've been to in British Columbia, um, or in Canada, actually was in British Columbia, and it was in Victoria, British Columbia. It used to be an old hotel. I think that they're condos now, but it was called the Dominion Hotel. And I've never been there and not had an experience. And it's like on Yates and I can't remember what street, but it was yeah, just a regular little dinky hotel that just every time I went there, there was huge activity from like the bustling skirts that you would hear, from knocking on doors, from windows opening.
Oh, yeah?
Um, yeah, just like constant activity. I would be going there just to sleep. Like I'd be investigating another place and then you go to that hotel to lie down and go to sleep. And it's like, nope, not
Yeah, you're
tonight,
not
honey.
sleeping.
Come on. Yeah, I would say, yeah. So Victoria's really, let's say, charmed when it comes to a lot of energy because it is right in the water. It's in between Vancouver and Seattle, two of the most rainy places in the world. So it's constantly got that
Right.
water energy and it provides.
Oh, I bet. I know it's like that hotel we stayed at in Gettysburg. We stayed at it's like a newer Days Inn, and that was
Hmm.
my dad
Oh
woke
wow.
up and saw a ghost one night standing in our room.
Oh, it's always like, yeah, when they're just standing there, like, what are you doing? Like, it's like, but what can we say? Because we're standing in their rooms all the time with
Yeah,
cameras and looking at
they're in
them.
their
So
spaces too, so
They get a peek or two too once in a while. I just did in Victoria. There's a castle. It's called Craig Derrick Castle, and so I just filmed with I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this. I'm sure they're not around, but anyway, I just filmed with a show called Ghosting, and it's a really fun paranormal show up in Canada. They're amazing. They're like the most. They're just funny, and they don't take themselves too seriously. And I kind of thought that maybe they were just like fun, a couple of fun guys, you know. But
Right.
I went there and I met them, and they're two of the most serious investigators I've met in a long time, but that don't take themselves seriously. Like I was like, this is perfect. This is awesome. Like it was one of the coolest things I've ever done. One of the
Mm.
I was so glad that they invited me to be a part of it. But yeah, it's gonna be like released, I believe, in March. But I'm very excited about it. But yeah, we did Craig Derrick Castle, which is a big, huge haunted mansion castle. It legit is a castle in the middle of Victoria. So if anyone's up in British Columbia, like hit me up. I can tell you where to go. There's some beauties up here.
Yeah, I wanna get to Canada. I'd like to
Yeah,
check
you
one of
gotta come
that.
up. Yeah, we're thinking about doing we used to do cold cons every so often. We're thinking about doing another one. So we want to get as much cold spotters up as we can if we do
Okay.
it. If we
Yeah.
do it, I said do.
Are you doing a road trip, Cold Spotters road trip this year?
Yeah, I want to. I want to. I was thinking that I would do it because I am going into filming, so we're gonna be filming probably until July, unfortunately. So I was thinking about doing it on the other side of the summer, um, maybe in September. And I was thinking about going down to Seattle this year, just something that was not too far for our forces, but like that's still doable for everyone.
Right.
Would you be able to get up to Seattle?
Probably.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So I'm thinking Seattle. So anyone that wants to join, just like let me know and like we'll let you know because usually we get up to about 30 to 50 people. The last one that we did that was really big was when we did Waverly, we did Waverly Hills
Yep.
and and that was a sanitarium. No? Sanitarium? Okay, yeah.
Sanatorium.
And yeah, that was great. And so that was we did that 22, I believe.
Yeah, it was because you
Yeah,
guys were
yeah.
there just after us.
What's that?
You were there just after us, shortly
Yeah.
after us.
Yes. That's right. That's right. That's right. So yeah, it was a great. It was like actually Rob and my first time, both of us, our first time being there. Neither of us had been there before, so it was really cool. Um, he doesn't always like going to the big famous ones, but I was like, it was on my bucket list, so it was really cool that we got to do it, and yeah, and I think there was probably 35 to 40 people with us. And
Yeah.
which and for some locations it's way too many people, so I do like to kind of control it and bring it down.
Mm.
But that was like right at the end of like kind of all our lockdowns, and it was just like whoever can make it, just come out and let's do it. And Waverly Hills is a huge
Yep.
place. So
Places.
30 people, it was easy to do. Yeah.
You can't cover that place in one night.
No, no, no. I barely got to investigate all the places I wanted to. I made sure to kind of make a list of the places I wanted to go, but I think I more kind of like toured some of them rather than investigated. But I'll be honest, like some of those places are intense. Like I was
Mhm.
like, I don't know if I want to investigate in here.
Yeah,
I kind of
the
whipped out
body
a
shoot
couple times, I had to do a nut check.
the body shoot can be
The
intimidating.
body shoot, but the body shoot, I was more worried about spiders.
We did we did it at 3 in the morning,
That's impressive.
so
We actually, I'll be honest, like we had like we were there. Well, you would know because we were there during that heat wave,
yep.
and it was like so hot. So it wasn't until about 3 in the morning that everyone started waking up, like because we were just like it was so hot. But actually, I discussed it on this show. That's where I met glow bugs,
Yep.
glow butts. Glow
Glow
butts, not glow bugs. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Which
that's
I
what
was just talking about with someone recently. They were talking about kids and oh, they're horrible and they kill bugs for fun. I was like, I'm like, but with their butts are glowing. And because I heard you can squish the glow bot onto your arm and you will get the
Yep,
glow bot juice. You can actually like draw like words on your arm.
yep,
I
they'll
didn't
glow.
I didn't test it. I did not test it. I don't need proof, but
But we got lucky when we were there because we got a thunderstorm that night we investigated.
oh my god, I can't even imagine the view.
Yeah, it kicked up activity
Wow.
tremendously. We got quite a bit of activity that night when it kicked up that thunderstorm.
Yeah.
We were actually out on the 4th floor catwalk where the sister's room is.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Where we started off when that, storm come through,
Wow. I can't
and then
even imagine. That's
we heard a loud metallic bang of a door, and we couldn't figure out where it came from.
wow.
It rattled the whole building.
hmm Ooh, that's so cool. And I'm really intrigued right now with how we're hearing things and like the difference between EVP and disembodied voice. Like, and I know that's like, kind of basic, but when you actually get a disembodied voice on a recording, and I want to know if everyone else has found this or if anyone thinks I'm talking about my bum or whatever. But when I get a disembodied voice on a recording, when I listen back to it, it's almost like that kind of mechanical noise. And
Mhm.
I'm like, what is that? But then when we get an EVP, which is recorded on a mechanical device, it comes out perfectly.
Yep.
Like, what is that? Is there any sort of like hypothetical something to go with that? Like,
Yeah.
that's my question to everyone. So feel free to fill the comments. But yeah, I'm absolutely yeah, I'm amazed. And like one of the places that I investigate quite frequently is we get a lot of disembodied. So a lot of the evidence that I'm getting comes out like sounding and I'm like, no, I heard it perfectly.
Right.
I heard it perfectly. And then when we get EVPs, like we had one EVP and you can hear me way in the background and it's a little girl talking to an older man. We can tell the difference in the voices. And the girl says, "What is she doing? Is she laughing?" And then you hear me in the background. I have a very very specific laugh, like
Right.
the cackle is Quill. And then the male answers the little girl and says, "Huh, she laughs." I'm like, oh, it just kind of,
Right.
but it was perfect. It was perfect. Like you couldn't, but then when we get something that we heard with our own ears, we got Wendy and everyone heard it. Like people turned and said, someone just called your name. When we listened back to it, it was like, Wendy, Wendy. And we're like, okay, that sounds like almost like it could have been on one of the random word generators or something. Like it didn't
Right.
sound human. It's so strange.
Yeah, and I know how Rob big on those word generators and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
can
we
imagine.
actually created one. We created one together, and I've been using it. And
Oh, yeah.
we created it to disprove, and it's like working better than anything I've ever. And I'm like, and I've talked to him, and I'm like, Rob, like this, like we're trying to disprove this, And he's like, well, go with it. This is what we're here for. Go with it, like
Mhm.
go. So like, it's funny because I hear so many people that don't actually know Rob like we do, um, and they're like, well, he just poo poos and he this and he that, and I'm like, no, he doesn't. He goes
No,
out there,
no.
he challenges, and that's the difference. And so now he's challenging me to go with this, and it's like, but it's wait, he's right, he's absolutely right. It doesn't matter if it goes with my narrative. Like that's i'm not I'm not an investigator because I have anything to prove. If anything, I should be disproving everything that comes out of my mouth.
Right.
So It opens my eyes up a lot, and it helps me become a better investigator because yeah, I think a lot of people miss that, and I think that's why a lot of people maybe have a little when it comes to certain styles of investigating.
Hmm. Greg Koss had a question. Where are you gonna be in Seattle? Have you been with Ross Allison?
I love Ross. Ross is like one of my besties in the world. Ross and June are like they're everything. I love Ross. Yes. I'm thinking about the ship in Bremerton. There's a ship and I don't remember the name of it right now. But yeah, we've actually done a lot of trips with Ross, and we've gone into the underground sidewalks. We've done a lot of things. But there's a ship, and that's kind of where I want to go next with Ross and with June. They own Spooked in Seattle, which was one of the tour groups down there, and they had the Death Museum, which is just amazing. Ross is from yeah, Spooked in Seattle. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I am absolutely yeah. He is like hands down one of the coolest dudes in the world. And Ross and June came to Waverly with us.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been tight with those two like for forever. I just love them. And they're like the sweetest gold people in the world. Like seriously, they're just yeah. There's a lot of like kind of not sweet people in this industry, but those two,
That's
you
true.
just can't. If you get on their good side, it doesn't take much because they're fucking amazing people. But like, just stay there. Don't fuck that up. Those are two genuine
Right.
people. Yeah,
Greg
yeah.
said it's USS Turner Joy.
Yes, the Turner Joy. Yes, yes, yeah. That's where I want to go. Yeah. So it will be a smaller group because it's like it's smaller little ship. But yeah, that's what I want to do for the next road trip. Oh yeah. So surprise, Ross and June.
Yeah, just keep us posted on it because
For sure, for sure.
crazy too for September with
Mhm.
Paracons and because last September we were just at the Warrens Paracon, so
Yeah.
with all their
But
haunted
I'm
house.
still coming to we should do one in Kansas City. That should be our next one. We should do 26 in Kansas City.
Yeah,
Can we investigate Patrick Mahomes' home?
I don't know. I
Probably
have
not, right? He may have, or how about like Kelsey?
right?
Yeah.
Those
I heard
places,
Taylor Swift's into the ghosts. Do you guys have actually that's a good question. Being like Kansas City, right? Do you guys have like Taylor Swift like sightings? Like is that like a thing there?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it.
No. Okay. I was like, I just
Only at the game she's been there, but
yeah. So she doesn't really hang out in the KC and the KC surroundings.
probably not because some of KC is actually bad through there. There's
I
street.
know. Oh, I'm actually a little bit mad as a KC fan when I go to just like to the pub and watch the game, and then these people are coming in, and I'm like, you have no clue. And then someone, because I'm a girl, someone actually said, we're not down with your type, and I'm like, what are you talking about? But they're mad because they thought I was a bandhand jumper.
Right.
Bandhand, band, whatever. You know what I'm saying? A
Yep.
bandwagon jumper. And I was like, no. I'm like, I've been with them when they sucked. I'm like, I've been with them since they sucked because I'm a Vancouver Canuck fan. And if you know Vancouver Canucks, we can't win a freaking Grey Cup. It's Stanley Cup to save our lives. We can't. We can't.
Right.
And so I said, I want to know if it's just like Vancouver Canucks just suck, or what's that?
Greg said, "I figured Amanda would have a Canucks jersey on."
I almost did. I almost did. I was supposed to be at the game, yeah, but that was last night. But yeah, I am a diehard Canucks fan, and there's nothing I can do about it. But I wanted to know, so I said, "What's the lamest team in the NFL?" And it came back with like with the Chiefs. And then I was a Marino fan, so I went to the Chiefs. I was like, okay, here we go, Chiefs. And I was like, wow, this is like just like being the Canucks. And then we got this little dude named like Patrick Mahomes, and I was like,
Yep.
oh. And then he has dogs, and I am a dog fan. Like I love dogs. Like, ooh. And his dogs had an Instagram, so I started following his dogs on Instagram. And then I became like, I was like KC all the way. And yeah, so we won our first Super Bowl a few years ago. Now we're just like we're flying, and it's like, yeah. Um, oh, we got what we got.
Greg says I'm a Hawks fan since the '60s.
Oh, okay, Hawks fan. Okay. Um, no, I have to go with Canucks. Like I can't not, you know. Yeah, can't not. Everyone calls the Canucks the cannots. We win, we get so far, and then we get to that Stanley Cup game, and then we riot. You
Right.
know, it's very famous for rioting.
But yeah, there's places near Kansas City that are haunted that you can
Yeah.
investigate. Like St. Joe is not too far from Kansas City, where you got the Beatty Mansion, you got the
Hmm.
Little Mansion, you got Felix
Cool.
Grave out there. A lot
Well,
of the
we should do it. Yeah, let's do that for like, yeah, 2-6. That'd be
yeah,
cool.
that's a lot of stuff is haunted up there. The Stony Creek Hotel is haunted. That's where we were at that one Paracon, and
Hmm.
KD, they moved the rooms upstairs for guest speakers. Well, nobody would go up there because the
Oh,
upstairs was
wow.
haunted. So KD was giving demonstrations on his boxes that he builds, and they had a
Hmm.
man come through on there. Come to find out, a man had died. A homeless man died there. He gouged out his own eyes
Oh, wow.
and died there.
Wow.
The hotel next to the place, the Motel 6, is also haunted. There's a bunch of confirmed deaths of overdoses, people getting
Hmm.
stabbed, shot in there.
Mm. The kind of hard life stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm. Well, I think that I think we have a lot of that in Vancouver. We have a lot of kind of hard life, let's say. We have what was called the downtown east side, and there's a lot of ODs, there's a lot of murders and suicides, and it's very rough. But I think it's also very interesting that a lot of these things are taking place on our land, which we're not actually taken care of, right? So we need to start healing the land and start healing the people, right? So it's hard because I don't ever want to bring a lot of attention to that, because people have the right to privacy and people have the right
Right.
to their lives, but at the same time we need to take care of our land. We need to take care of where these decisions and where this heartbreak is coming from. And yeah, I think it's because we're not doing diligence or due diligence. Yeah, we're not paying attention to what we need to. And we're using up a lot of resources, we're using up a lot of energy without giving back. And yeah, that's got to change.
Right, and then we also got Jesse James, the history of Jesse
Mm.
James through here too,
Yeah.
and he lived right there in St. Joe. That's where he was shot and killed,
Wow.
at his house in St. Joe.
Mm.
And then we got his boyhood home where he was born and raised, and that's haunted.
Mm. So, what about you guys were working with like a hotel? Like, did that
That
not work out,
kinda
or
close.
how's that building doing?
That building is done.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah.
It's in rough shape.
Hmm.
The owner didn't really wanna put any money into it to fix it up.
Mm. Yeah.
She
And
was ready.
that's a shame. That's a shame. And like, and hopefully you don't take that on a lot yourself, because that's their choice that they already made, right? And I
We
think
did
it's
what
I
we
think it's very
could.
admirable that you would do as much work as you did, you know. So yeah, but that's too bad. It happens a
Yeah,
lot. It happens a
we
lot.
did what we could for that, and then she wanted to give it to us, and we
Hmm.
really wanted her to hang on to it, let us fix it up, and then give it to us because we didn't want that hassle in our name because that place legally should have been condemned.
Yeah.
The roof was falling in, it was leaking bad,
Hmm.
and we did all we could on the roof patching it, but she didn't wanna sink the money into the roof to get us the stuff to put on it. So we had
Mhm.
to use what we had, and we managed to get most of it sealed up, but not all of it, and then storms came and it blew all that stuff right back up.
Mhm.
We just kinda walked away
Wow.
from it. We had no
Yeah.
choice.
Well, and also too, I think that like maybe it wasn't the safest thing to be working on too for you
Yeah,
guys.
there was a lot of mold in there, and
Mhm. And
yeah.
like we really take we're very passionate about saving these buildings and saving the history and saving the archives and everything that come with it. But we kind of sometimes run into these things without
Mhm.
thinking about our own health and our own well-being and how this affects our families and stuff. Which I mean, I get like I do it all the time. I do it all the time. I
Right,
mean, but we got to we have to appreciate our lives and our loved ones and our loved ones' lives. We can't always be trying to save something from death, and we focus so much on death and what's already died that I so good for you for knowing that balance, and good for you for doing what you could and getting out when you should have.
yep, and she actually had kids break in there one night and
Hmm.
started vandalizing the place, and the cops caught a bunch of them, but didn't catch the one kid, and he had been coming in there about 10 or 11 times by himself. He tells
Hmm.
mom he's going to a friend's house. Meanwhile, he's sneaking in this hotel playing with Ouija board in there trying to contact spirits, and
Hmm.
so we were there, and we were working on the building, and the owner was there, and we were going to do an investigation that night. Well, he comes walking by, and he kept looking at all of us, and I said to the owner, I said, "How much you wanna bet that's one of the kids that broke in here?"
Hmm.
Kid turns around, comes back, and says, "Which one are you or the owner?" And lady goes, "I am." Says, "Well, I'm one of the kids that broke in, and I owe you an apology."
Hmm.
And she's like, "How long you been coming in here?" He said, "I've been in here about 10 or 11 times by myself." And I told the kid, I said, "You urban explorers, you're telling your mom you're at a friend's house. You go walking in here and the ceiling falls in on you. You're gonna lay in here dead. If she doesn't get here for about a week straight, 2 weeks straight, you're gonna lay in."
Yeah. And and that's true. That's very true. I went into a building. I like, and I'm being very honest right now, very honest. I went into a building, and I won't say when I did it or what age I did it at, but I did. And I knew that nobody knew I was in there, other than the person I was with. And I fell through the floor.
Yep.
And you know, completely irresponsible, completely irresponsible. And I am so lucky that I was with someone who didn't come and run right after me and knew what to do to get me back, and not fall through that floor with me. But we need to be aware, and we don't need to be cool, and we don't need to be in the most dangerous place to be the most successful investigator or explorer or anything. Like that's stupid. It's stupid. And I learned real quick how stupid it was. As soon as I was like, kaboom, it's terrifying. Oh my gosh. Like,
Right.
no. Yeah, that was the stupidest thing I've ever done. Stupidest thing. And it's like, did I do anything to save the building? No, I ruined it a little bit more. Did I do anything to help the future of us investigating? No, I ruined that too because now
Yeah.
some dumb investigators falling through the floor. Have I done
Yep.
anything to broaden the field or to bring us closer to answers? No, 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 no. I'm glad I didn't kill myself, and that's
Right.
the truth. It's like we can't be so freaking cool that we're breaking into buildings, and not to say that I did that. It was wide open, but still, I had no place of being in there. And
Right, and if
yeah, and
nobody
I
knows
will
you're in
admit that
there.
I've done that, and it was not a good end. We
Right.
can't do that.
Yeah, this kid, he was coming in there, so I took him in there,
Hmm.
and I said, "You see all these beams that are falling down from all the water coming in?" You get back in there and one of them falls on you, nobody's ever gonna find you.
Mm-mm.
Or you fall through the floor down into the basement. There was a lot of junk down in the basement, and there's water down there.
Mm-hmm.
You fall in one of them holes down there, you're gonna drown
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because there's an old underground tunnel under that basement where the owner used to bootleg his liquor from the his liquor store over there to his
There's
speakeasy
no
in the
liquor
basement.
left, so you're gonna die unhappy. Like no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we found his liquor stash when we were there.
Mm.
All this moonshine, and he had a bunch of it.
I was in South Carolina. I don't need any more moonshine for a while.
Oh, this stuff
I
we
can't
even
imagine. Like, I actually thought that moonshine was trending for a while, and then I got out of South Carolina, and like there was no moonshine anywhere. I was like, oh,
yeah, like Greg was saying, there's ones who fabricate and fake evidence. That is
what's
100% true.
what's that?
There's one who fabricate and fake evidence.
Oh yeah, there's yeah. Oh yeah, there's a few that fabricate fake evidence. It's ridiculous. And it's like, I also wonder why more of us don't call them out. Why is it always like us renegades, oh, they've got a bad attitude. They're just calling everyone out. It's like, no, no, come on. We all don't believe it.
Right,
And like the majority of people that I talk to are like, well, that's fake and that's fake. And I'm like, well, why didn't you say that? Why are you like on the page saying good catch? It's so if it is entertainment that we want, then fine, 100%. Let it be. But if it's like we're actually looking for real evidence, but I say that, but then there's also this fine line of people that just poo poo everything. Poo 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 poo.
yep,
It's not cool to like just like it's an impossible yet important thing that we are doing, and it's like I don't know. We're never going to be more than a pseudoscience until we can take ourselves seriously. And do we want to be more than that? That's the other thing. Do we want to be normal or do we want to be paranormal? That's another thing. Like people are just like I don't know where people's intentions are, and that's
right,
where the important thing is. It's like, are you trying to prove that ghosts are real, or are you trying to prove what a ghost is? That's very it's a very important question. Like what are we doing here? Are we just trying to scare people, or are we trying to comfort them? Are we
right.
trying to make ourselves seem like we know everything, or are we going to be willing to say that we know nothing? It's
Right.
yeah,
And it's
all
like
I
the
know is
ones
I got
that even get like one piece of evidence and then they milk it for what it's worth. It could be one little EVP and then they just drag it out to make it
mm-hmm,
like it's one big piece of evidence when it's actually not.
mm-hmm. Well, we have like Coldspotters in general. We have a piece of evidence out there, and it's a video. Everywhere I go, people show this video because it's such a good video. I know what it is. I've said publicly what it is. I've debunked it a gajillion times. And it doesn't matter because everywhere I go, before they introduce me, they'll play that video and
Mhm.
say, this is their iconic, and then I, I don't want to debunk it anymore because I just sound like a naysayer. But at the same time, I don't want people to think that this video is real. I don't want people to think that I'm trying to play off this video as evidence. Like this is a
Right.
ghost. No, that's not a ghost. That's my investigator. Blah blah blah. And then when other people who we have another group who tries to be true, who says that there are us, and they play that video everywhere, and I'm like, I just want this video to be squashed and buried and never come up again. And it's like, so I probably should just publicly promote the video as fake so people
Right.
know, but at the same time I don't want to promote anything that I've come up with that's fake. It's just like other people have taken this to be true. Like
Right.
what do you do with that? What do you do with that? It's not fake, it's real video evidence that I can debunk. So it's not fake. I'm not saying it's a ghost, I'm saying it's not a ghost and this is why, but people don't want to hear why it's not a ghost.
Yep. And that's even like the ones that call everything a demon. Demon this, demon that.
Yeah, because you're able to deal with a demon. Sure.
And the
Like, come on.
demonics are very rare. You run into them maybe one out of a
Yeah,
hundred.
if ever you ever come up with, nah, no, no. And the way that the amount of demonologists there are now, the amount of people getting money every single weekend to, give you a piece of paper that says you're a demonologist. The amount of people that
Yeah.
are getting how many thousands of dollars every single month to deem you a demonologist, like, it's way more than the demons we're seeing.
Yep.
And yeah, unless you're, I, I almost miss the days of like the parapsychologists, because they
Mm-hmm.
actually had a little bit of control over what we're doing. And they knew the difference. And even like parapsychology is not that prevalent in our industry at all. At all. Like, everyone's kind of poo-pooed a lot of the real things. I just did an interview where someone said how integral, how important, how like how important is it to have a medium at your investigation? Tell them all. And I'm like, it's not. In
No.
fact, I would say it's not recommended at all. And ooh, I can feel the, and I'm not saying that like that psychics and mediums are not important. They're so important. They're like vital. They're vital, but they're not vital to investigation. They are not evidence. And that's what we all get wrong. We think that they're
Mm-hmm.
evidence, and they're not. They're another tool to get evidence. So I'm not poo-pooing them. I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm just saying that we need to be able to quantify everything we get,
Right.
including what we get from them. And we don't. We just take it as, gospel. But yeah, I think I've been talking too long. I think we're getting up to our thing, so I'll stop talking.
No,
Oh,
we can go 2 hours if we want. There's nobody on after me, so
oh, really? Yeah. Well, we go a little bit late, but I have to get to another one after this. So,
but
but yes.
yeah, I mean even some of the psychics are even fake at what they do. They go into a place and oh, I feel this and feel that.
Mm-hmm.
I worked with this one group and they had a psychic in there that called herself a psychic and she's like, "Oh, I'm feeling this," and she's touching the walls. So we gave her the nickname Spirit Fingers, and we're like, we're trying to back it up with equipment, and we're not getting nothing. And I'm like, so what? What are you feeling? If we're not catching nothing on camera, we're not catching EVPs, we're not
Mm-hmm.
catching hits on the millimeters, nothing. So what are you feeling? How come you're feeling that and we're not backing it up with the equipment? Said
Mm-hmm.
so either you're pulling our leg on it and you're not
Yes,
feeling nothing at all.
but it's just like, is the spirit coming through a different channel to her, or is it like, because that's another thing. Like, I've always like we've done investigations at seances to see if we can hit at the same time, and we never do. We never do. So it's like, why aren't we looking at them? Where's the information coming from?
Right.
Rather than you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. Like, we need to, like, yeah, but we also don't look at cold reading. We don't look at a lot of things. So it's like, if we're going to automatically say that our equipment doesn't work or it's gimmicky, why aren't we saying, you know what, your information doesn't work, it's gimmicky? Like,
Yeah.
it's not an attack against that field at all. Like, understand, I respect, and I am psychic. I respect it all. I get BDM. I get it all. I understand, and I respect. But I just, when it comes to what we're going for, that end all, like, we need to be like, you're not going to take a psychic to work to prove why you got there late.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We're going to use what we need to use at that moment. Well, that didn't make any sense, but hey, if I had a second to explain it, boom. But it's just like ah, verification. We're looking for verification, not validation. And with
Yep.
psychics, we're going for validation. And that is not scientific. It's nothing. We need verification to verify it's real. And someone saying, "Hey, actually, I feel that way too," doesn't mean it's true.
Right.
That's just the way it is. And yeah. I'm sorry, I've probably pissed off half of your audience now. I'm
That's
sorry.
that's all right.
Mm.
Greg says really on the ball with the paranormal.
Yeah, I'm on the ball.
I mean, I've worked with some psychics that are legit that I didn't have to question, but some of them I do question. I'm like
Mhm.
with them
What's
because
that?
some of the psychics I do question.
Mhm.
I've worked with some that are legit and some that are fake.
Yeah.
So
And
I question.
it's a shame that there's the fake ones out there because the ones that are legit are like unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Like like some of the ones that I work with, I just couldn't I would like I wouldn't have a good life without them. I honestly wouldn't. They're like some of the most like amazing people that I know. And then we got our chip coffees.
Yep.
Yeah, I said it.
But
Like they don't get a producer sheet. They don't get all the other things that these people that are just doing it for gain get. And you know, and I take that back. I take back the name I said. I take it all back because I know that he's not of good health and I wish him the
yeah,
best
I know he's
and
not well.
I freaking apologize so much. That was rude. That was rude. I'm sorry, but I'm just saying. I just it was the first name that came to my head because it's so well known, and yeah, I think that that's what I meant by that. Not saying that he's a fake. No. Yeah, I backpedaled in that so fast. I was like, oh my gosh, what did I
Oh,
say?
that's like Amy Allen, the psychic. We actually were able to prove that she is a legit medium with the movie theater when Dead Files
Hmm.
was there. We captured everything evidence-wise that Amy Allen picked up in that place
Hmm.
and was able to back it up
Hmm.
for what she picked up on psychically.
Wow. Yeah, and it's like that's like I have a very very strong claircognizance, so I know, but there's no way that I can be like, oh, I just know. You know what I mean? And people are like, oh, well, she knows. We'll just give it to her. So it's like we have to have things to back things up with, right? We have to know that. Yeah.
Greg says if you are lucky enough to have a mentor who is great psychic medium who helped learn in the community. Exactly.
Yes.
You
Yes, that's where it's at. And like I'm 100% for mentorship. And I have two of the best mentors in my life when I was really, really young who I got introduced to. And that's why I started investigating so young, is because of these two wonderful, wonderful women. And then after that, just like my team and just like learning off of everyone that I was, with. And I miss those ladies. They're no longer with us, but I'm like without that, I wouldn't be who I am today. And then yeah, growing with my team and how many of us we are, it's so cool that we have the ability to talk to each other, mentor each other through it.
yeah,
And someone just asked me recently like who my big mentor would be in the paranormal. And I mentioned it all, but I'm like, if I had to name one, I mean, I would be absolutely lying if I didn't say Rob. The amount of conversations and
mm,
discussions and fights that we have had on this stuff, the challenge to use my brain when it comes to the paranormal, the challenge to actually look at everything, every variable. We can't get comfortable ever,
right.
and no matter where we are in our lives today, we have to pay respect to the people that got us here.
Yep. And that's like Rob got me started when I was young.
Hmm. Yeah.
He mentored
Rob got a
me.
lot of people started. Rob got a lot of people started, and a lot of people on the right foot. And fucking thank God for that, man. Seriously. And it got a lot of us questioning the things that we should question,
Yep.
and able to stand up to, the bullshit in this community.
Yep.
Yeah.
I owe it
Serious.
all to Rob because he helped me get my group started on
Yeah.
Florida Ghost Team and GHI. So
Hmm. Yeah.
that's me. All I had to do was make him a mixtape when I was a DJ.
Hmm. Well, and I know a lot of people too, like we don't want to bring up the Rob, and I'm like, you always bring up Rob with me, always. There's nothing in this world that's ever going to stop my admiration of that man.
Right.
You know, I wouldn't be where I am today without him. I wouldn't be who I am.
Greg says Amanda would be a great mentor.
Yes, I would, and I am, hopefully. Well, that's my mentee. See what she thinks. But actually, I want to come on here with my team. That would be
Yeah,
really cool.
definitely. We'll do a Cold
Yeah.
Spotters team.
Hmm. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Well,
But I do have to
well,
run because, like I said, I do have another one right after here.
all right.
Yeah, but thank you so much, and I'm so sorry that I was late. And yeah,
You're all right.
all right.
If people want to get a hold of you for events, Paracons, how can they get a hold of you?
Honestly, hit me up on Facebook, Amanda Quill, or AQ Amanda Quill. We are on there as Coldspotters. Also, coldspotters@gmail.com is my email. And yeah, but really just hit up Amanda Quill, this face.
And if you can't get a hold of her, get a hold of one of us Cold Spotter teams. We can get a hold of
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, any of the Coldspotters know how to get a hold of me. In a
I
heartbeat.
always do. So,
Yeah.
so it was great having you on the show, and definitely we'll do one with the whole Cold Spotters team on.
Yeah, awesome. That'll be
We
so
can
good.
have up to 12 on the screen. So,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
we'll definitely do one.
Well, we'll do that for sure. Thank you. This is my first podcast of the year. So happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Right, bye.
Take care, Amanda. Thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. We had a great show. Tune in next week with my guest, Father Bob Bailey, who was on the show Paranormal State. He's also a Roman Catholic priest. He's my mentor's spiritual director and a great friend of ours. So tune in next week, same time, same channel. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Stay safe out there.